Talking about Resurrect, we will have to have a more deep conversation about it. There are several ideas for it. One potential idea is making it an area of effect Resurrect, so it's more of the desperation move that gets everyone up rather than one by one. Uh, the res leaves, the egg leaves are meant to be used in between combats. So, but during combat, yes, I understand that you want something that can be used a lot, but the game kind of is not designed around that. The raid bosses, we have about 5 bugs slash exploits that we have been submitting up. They usually do get fixed within 1 to 2 weeks. What causes the do not have enough time to cast this skill to use? Um, Bad grammar. Uh, and I'm sure that's exactly what it says in game too. Uh, First, we'll look for that string and fix it. But secondly, what actually causes it, I really don't know. How would the smaller guilds fight bigger guilds in WoE? The idea is it's supposed to be just a flood. Uh, the group that does the most damage to the control point are the ones that get credit for killing it rather than the last hit. Uh, so that's exciting news from those that are griped about people getting their kills stolen at the very end. Some of the control points actually give substantial enough buffs to where you probably do more damage than a normal 10 people would. Pandora's box stackable. Uh, right now, that might be a challenge because they are actually different items in the DB. That's why they have different stacks. But we can talk about it with the development team. We have reported the tab targeting issue, such as targeting the closest one first. We haven't answered the Monk Agi gear because I have no idea what the status is of it right now. If we can see a report so we can actually look at the item, specific item, we can find out more about it. Level 2 advanced classes, there's nothing I can say about them right now. I haven't seen any concept art myself, but that doesn't mean that they're not in some developers' back of their mind right now. That's part of our discussions we have with them weekly, is if find out stuff like that so we have an idea of what's coming in the next 6 months to a year. Yeah, we noticed a few issues with the threat meter, such as you have to be closer to them, then they have to back off, then the monster will switch. But even then, sometimes the monster will do a random hit to other people. That's part of that excitement thing. Uh, there will be there will be a way of changing your hairstyle, eye color, all that stuff will eventually be added to the game. VIP icons cycle every month. So not necessarily when you use the item, but when you act, it's we refresh the set so it's a different item. So if you still have the VIP token from last month, it'll still be a pouring. But if you get one from this month, it'll be the spore. And sometime soon, it will be the first seal. Skin tone change. Cough. There's two definite ways of looking at that. One is everything there's no such thing as racism because there's only one race. That's a very friendly way of looking at it. I can easily imagine a case where someone would make an alternate skin tone, and then for some reason someone in game would be picking on them, and then we would have complaints of racism in the game. It's definitely something I'd rather not deal with. Super large bags are normal in Korea. It's a completely different game. There's not much else I can say about that. It's a different game. They launched. They had some issues that they had to do, certain changes that they probably would not do today. I'm pretty sure the large bags would be one of them. Right now, Heimdallr is talking with my monotone voice. We'll have to deal with copyright issues on the 100 strong as they come in. Obviously, if it's a trademark thing, we won't be able to use it. Will Union accessories ever give stat boosts? Potentially, but that might be a later set of Union stuff. More hairstyles? Yes, that's something that we would like to see as well. We just need to get design documents for what do you want it to look like. You want to answer that?
The question about the reward for the first people to down a raid boss, we actually have that going on right now for the new raid dungeon. We haven't determined the rewards, but for the first, and then the first 5, and then anybody who actually is able to complete the raid this week, we will have prizes set up for that. We don't expect for us to have that up until early next week when we're able to pull all that information and see who did it chronologically.
Does bugging bosses to get the first kill count? No. Probably in the future we'll be doing videos for all of for people who kill to qualify, you have to show the video. And obviously if you're exploiting, it won't count. What is the expectation of number of people in a location for WoE, since Monster Invasion event crashes people anyway? So how will it work? Like you enter Colo and crash and can't rejoin? Right now, the amount of people that enter Prontera when we do one of those monster events is much higher than what the WoE limit is. Do you need help fixing the in-game text? We love reports. Seriously, a screenshot just showing the quest window open or whatever it is that's bugged lets us very quickly get it fixed, as in the next maintenance it gets fixed. Color customization is only done on costumes. Marriage option, it is something in discussion. Have a lot of guild points for WoE. It could be a huge advantage. You're going to do something about it. We ban bots. Report them. If they're botting, they get banned. The guild will definitely lose out in that scenario. We're not going to get into baby classes. If that might be something that happens in a year or so. Do consider this is an MMO with a lifespan measured in years, not in weeks. Could we get some sort of hamstring for melees? We almost always can't catch range in PvP. That is something we're talking about, is changing the way some skills work in PvP scenarios. It's not something that will be put in immediately. It's a very large balance tweak that has to happen for that. What I mean by that is the skills function one way in PvP, they function a different way in PvE. So it wouldn't require necessarily a level cap increase. Will thieves ever get a steal skill? Nope, they punished crime way too hard. Will Master Looter be addressed, or will players have to keep getting abused by people who change that in the last second? You can submit a video of that, because we have to submit a video to demonstrate what the actual issue is and what we want fixed. If you can help us skip that first step, it makes it a lot faster for us to get things fixed. Otherwise, it has to wait in queue for all the other bugs and reports. We will have a full month of woe testing. During that time, class balance will definitely be under a microscope by us and the development team. So this is the best opportunity for getting some of those tweaks made. Keep getting the same questions over and over. There are no plans for advanced classes right now. And that's what I mean is right now, not necessarily in the future. So I can't say never ever or for certain. This is the Warp Portal hiring. You'll be available in 10 months. I guess check around then. I can't really forecast 10 months in the future for our hiring schedule. You ever be able to see class headgear while wearing middle face accessories from Union? My blinder won't let me wear my monk hat. Report that as a bug, and we will get that checked. Gender transformation, hairstyles, eye color, face design, voice change, all those things are actually planned to be changeable either as a value-added service or as a simple, what would it be, like like a design shop. Someday you'll be able to change that relatively easily. Something about... someone said something about Pandora's hammers being a money sink. What I mean is, at some point in the game, Pandora's boxes will probably be a more regular drop, and when that happens, the hammers won't drop anymore. You'll get them from, or they'll drop very rarely. That guy or girl has no shame.
Wonder what happens if I turn the camera, see if they'll move.
Will we ever be able to equip our old raid gear as a costume? That's something worth considering. It would require, right now it would require all new items being made. So that's not exactly a fast thing, but it is something that maybe could be done. We'll bring it up in our next discussion with the development team. An unbinding stone, whether it's an in-game item or something on the shop, would have to be considered very carefully for balance reasons. There is a reason why a lot of that stuff gets bound, so there has to be an equally good reason for letting it be unbound. And we'd be adding the most voted class in your Facebook question about which we want to be added. Wasn't that the one we were doing for the appearance thing?
We're doing an event right now where they get a vote on the accessory that is just the prize. It ends on July 1st.
Oh, so that's not a class thing, though.
No, it's not a class.
The Coliseum bugs of people moving, yeah, that is something we're trying to get addressed. Yeah, we've tried to answer as best we can about the class balance in PvP. We know it's a little wonky, to say the least. And that's part of the reason we want to do this WoW update, because we want to get a full month of daily testing where everyone's looking at it and going, this is why we need to change this skill or this class, buff this, nerf that. Hopefully less nerfing, more buffing. The first test WoW for you guys will be July 10th. Warp scrolls are available via the chance coupons. Right now the trick is we need to figure out more ways of getting you chance coupons. Yeah, the marriage question about same-sex or opposite sex, despite my beliefs have little to do with what would be good for the game regarding that. We don't really want a lot of controversy regarding it, so if marriage is implemented, it's fair to say it would probably be male and female. What about the Kaffir name change scroll bug? Oh, the one where you had a character holding... You have a character holding the name, you delete it, and then you try to change the name to that? Yeah, that's actually intended. It's so you can delete a character and then remake it without fear of someone grabbing your name in that split second. Will buffs ever be wiped in Colo entrance? Maybe. That was something we had talked about. There are two schools of thought regarding it. One is it makes everyone even, but on the other hand, it also makes a terrible waste for someone who just entered, who had all their foods on and all that, and just to lose them just because they entered Coliseum is also not fair. Oh, I never actually answered the question about small guilds taking on bigger guilds in WoW. So let's assume the defending guild is a 100-member guild. There will be several hundred people attacking them. None of those guilds are allied, but if they all want to work together, they can definitely try to break that defending guild. A smaller guild just has to damage those control points enough to get credit for breaking them. Then they will do more damage or have better defense or better crits, more health, whatever that buff happens to be, to try to take out the main imp. So if you have a guild that's very good at PvP options, very well coordinated, you can certainly take out a larger guild. It's happened in Ragnarok 1, and coordinated attacks in RO2 can also be quite devastating. Character slot expansion when Noel comes out, we will definitely look into that. I understand there are 10 slots for 10 characters, so there's a certain symmetry there. And with the Noel, there's at least a few more classes coming in, or a couple more classes coming in. Will mobs ever drop Zenny? Well, the quests and the items do. And some of those items are worth several Zenny.